Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horror Trans. I am Stephanie Bree. I'm a transgender woman who talks about all things horror. And today we're talking about Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Actually, it's Canada. I don't remember the city. So, we start off with a recap of the franchise story because, we're all the way up to Part 8 and the audiences forgot that Jason drowned and came back to kill people because, you need a reminder that that's what he does in case you didn't realize you were watching the same fucking movie 7 times in a row. Anyways, kid puts on the Jason mask and scares girlfriend after having sex, but we have PG-13 sex this time because they're like toning it down because the MPAA is being dicks to this franchise. So we get PG-13 sex and Jason shows up and kills teenager number 1, and then teenager number 2 crawls into a cubbyhole, and Jason shows up and teenager number 2 screams the longest drawn out bloodiest scream of the fucking franchise, and Jason takes his sweet ass time stabbing her, and finally she kicks the bucket and we get to a flash forward to the next day or next week or end of, I don't know, whatever. So Jason, the kids are going on a... Okay, so they're at Camp Crystal Lake. Camp Crystal Lake. And they're getting on a boat to take a cruise up, quote, river to New York City. Okay, whatever. Anyways, they get on a boat and Jason hitchhikes his way onto the boat, or tags along, or stows away, whatever nautical term you want to use. And we get a whole bunch of unlikable teenagers killed in actually pretty cool ways. So this time we get a girl killed with a guitar because she's like punk rocker chick. We get a guy killed with a camera because he's filmmaker dude. We get a guy who gets hanged. We get a stabbing or two. We get a kid who gets decapitated in one of the coolest fucking scenes in the whole fucking franchise. We fucking an hour into an hour and a half long movie, we get to Manhattan, quote Manhattan, and Jason kills a girl with a disco ball or something. I don't remember. And then he kills another girl. He stabs her to death. And then he kills another. He's just killing people. Kind of, sort of creative deaths, but also kind of, sort of lame. But what we get is a subplot. Because we didn't have enough backstory. Finally, we find out that Jason is showing up. Little boy drowned Jason is showing up as a ghost. Because reasons, and is haunting this girl's nightmares because, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, gotta rip that off. And apparently there's some fucking toxic sludge in the sewers, and they throw Jason's body into the toxic sludge, and he melts. And little baby boy Jason is crying, oh no, poor me. And we roll credits and we get the end of the Paramount franchise before we jump into the shitstorm that is the New Line Cinema franchise, which obviously we got to talk about, but holy fucking Christ, this movie is bonkers. So, where do I start? The kills are good, so we have that. The story doesn't make any goddamn sense. The characters are sort of likable. Not very memorable, but they are, they're caricatures. They're cardboard cutouts, but they're cardboard cutouts of interesting people. So, halfway there, I guess. You get bonus points, I suppose. We got some really good kills. We got some really good music. Jason does eventually get this really cool scene where he's in the middle of Times Square and he's taking it in and he's just like looking around and the single best shot in the franchise, and then these punk rockers harass him and he takes his mask off and scares the bejesus out of him because he's a zombie. And then he puts his mask back on and goes back about his business. And, alright. So I know it sounds like I'm talking shit about this movie because this is a shit movie. But this one's cornball enough I like it. This one's actually, it's cheesy, but it's the good kind of cheesy. So this one's a buy. I actually recommend this one. Jason Takes Manhattan is the first fun Friday the 13th since part 6. So, 7 sucked, but 8 was good. 8 is good. 8 is fun, and that's what you want in a franchise. That's what you want in a slasher movie. You want to have fun, and 8 is fun. And that's all that matters. This is a buy.